I just wanna let you know I'm proud. I just wanna let you know I'm proud.
Hey, Benny. Thanks for having me, bud. How are you doing?
Jeremy, so demure, so mindful. Midwesterners with beards. You are a hot booking right now. JD Vance doing a stellar job and representing Midwesterners with beards very well the other night.
Look, I've been out here. I've been telling you, Benny. I've been telling the world that we are a rare breed of bearded, slightly overweight. It is a gold mine out here, ladies. Move to the Midwest. Get yourself a man that will give you the side eye, like JD Vance does when someone says something stupid.
All right. So I was hoping we could talk through memes. Yes. So the JD Vance side eye. Few commentators in the political and news space understand the power of meme culture more than the quartering. And when you watched JD Vance become quite an iconic memes that are being really have gone parabolic, frankly, around the internet, and Tim Walz become like the joke, the butt of the joke. You know you've won. This is the meme energy. When you lose the meme energy, you're in a really bad spot. Your take?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at even the Trump Kamala Harris debate, where I think even the hardest Trump supporter could admit that Trump got a little triggered. He could have handled it a little bit better, even though it was stacked against him. He won the meme war. I mean, there was a guy who's touring, has a video with 10 million views of him singing a rendition of "They're Eating the Dogs, Eating the Cats." Shout out to the Kiffness. With this one, that side-eye meme, I saw articles this morning that even gay Twitter is in love with JD Vance after all those mimetic moments. You had the "I'm friends with school shooters" thing, which is unbelievable. You had the "well, I misspoke" when I gave a 3-minute very specific rendition about how I heroically was at Tiananmen Square, and then the "I'm just a knucklehead. I grew up in a small town, so we all lie." Like, one of the weirdest things. As someone who actually did grow up in a small town, by the way, people in big towns rode their bikes till the street lights turned on too, my dude. Like, he's just like, "Oh, I don't know. I grew up in a small town." What? No, you literally lied. You didn't misspeak. So yeah, that Donald Trump seizing on that, great news. All the memes, like, again, the left loses the meme war. The dumb VP thing is epic. The Vance side-eye meme is epic. The school, that's all anyone remembers. And even if you look at some of the predictive betting markets on the presidential election, which again, I only view as directional. People love to look at these various sites and think it means anything. It's about as accurate at polling, but directionally, they lost 2 points that night. Kamala Harris in those very same markets were leading by about 2 points as of today. Trump leads by, I don't know, 0.2 of a penny, but like directionally, that all the air got sucked out of the room, because now the mainstream media can't run 2 straight weeks of endless pro Tim Walz propaganda. They just have to go back to how bad she's bungling the hurricane.
So can we put JD back up? I would like to, just before we move on from this meme, can you teach me, as a bearded Midwestern man, can you teach me how to do this so that we can get a screenshot here? So okay, so it's side.
I gotta look up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You have to look like annoyed, but like, it's like, man, this, like, this the bar has had 3 too many drinks, and like, you're looking at your boys and you're like, "Somebody save me," and they're like, "Nah, dude, this is too funny for us." Like, that's a come on, man, come on.
Like, you're out, you're mowing your lawn,
yeah,
and your wife just says, "Hey, come on in, honey, it's about to rain," and you're like, I'm almost done. Right? Like, it's a Midwestern problem.
You fire that off. Or, for example, here'd be a great lawn mowing example.
Bring me a beer.
Yeah, well, or you've asked your neighbor, right, about their dog pooping in your yard, and then you're out there and your wife's like, "Please don't make it a big deal, please." And then you're like, "Fine." Then your wife comes out and the dog is literally pooping in your yard, and you look at your wife like, "See, like, I told you." Like,
That's right. the neighbor who lies that it's not their dog, and then
right.
right,
You catch them red-handed, and your wife's like,
Mhm.
"Look, we gotta live next to these people. Don't say anything," and you're just like, What do you want me to do here?" Like I literally, you've screwed me here.
I got to tell you this for a millennial. So we're both what would be considered, I think, older millennials.
Yeah. Mhm.
This is power right here. This meme right here is power. This meme from The Office. So The Office is sort of the marquee cultural iconography of our
Office, yeah.
of like our generation. And this was probably the winner of the night, I think.
He trained for it too, obviously.
Tonight's
Just
VP.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah, just like Kamala Harris was very clearly coached on the split screen, JD Vance was coached too, and coached extremely well. Like that look is the look. Like a lot of people, Kamala Harris tried to do the "oh honey" kind of look, but it
Mhm.
didn't really stick. But JD nailed it. Just like, what is this? Did this guy just say he was friends with school shoot? What do you want me to do here? Yeah,
It's
he's
meme.
Jim. Yeah.
It's meme gold. Yeah, it really, and you don't want to be compared to Kevin. You just don't. Kevin's lovable, but like you don't.
That
You wanna
chili looks pretty good though. Like it's unfortunate that accident happened. That was one of the saddest days in The Office history.
All right, so we're gonna just roll. We're gonna roll through it. Game recognized game. Okay,
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah.
We got the video of the dragon ones up. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is there we go. Okay. There we go. This is I'm friends with school shooters.
One of the funniest things that came out of Tim Walz's weird bug eyes. Did you see where they were like, this actually, where they had like some sort of expert come out and say, no, this is I'm totally dialed in and I'm very.
Yeah, Politico did that. Yeah. And the beard
watching that believes you.
The beard's intimidating.
Yeah.
Do Al Borland. Do Al Borland.
Shout out Al Borland. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out Al Borland. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so, Tim.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's perfect, bro.
Yeah, he should have said it during the debate. It would have been
I
gold.
don't think so, Tim.
Yeah. I kept waiting for him to say it, but like, gosh darn it, dang you, JD Vance. You were just too professional. He didn't take the stolen valor pot shot, which people wanted him to do. He came across as all class and shout out to his performance. Absolutely stellar. And Trump made the correct decision picking JD Vance. There was a lot of hubbub around whether or not he picked it. Now, I knew the power of the Midwest. So I was like, nah, dog, he's perfect. And he proved it. He proved it that night.
So I thought a lot about this. And I thought, it's great to own the libs. And then when you lose, they own you, right? So you have to actually win. And elections are about addition, not subtraction.
Right.
And so if JD Vance came at this, and we've seen JD Vance, Bear Claw JD Vance, Wolverine JD Vance, right? We've seen him. He can go into attack mode, and it's terrifying. It's savage. And he's been able to savage Tim Walz, not to his face, but about stolen valor and about his intelligence and how stupid and radical he is. That JD Vance did not show up. And why I think that is because of women.
Yes.
This is the last two campaigns' chances to go up against each other before the election. There's not going to be another debate. No. And the deficit that the Trump campaign has is not with men who watch UFC and love the octagon and all the fighters jump the cage and go like bow to Trump. You've seen this, right? Like Trump doesn't need fighter bros.
Right.
Like that's sold. The frat bros, they're done, right? They're going Trump.
Yeah.
And we find this out. We find this every single day. The deficit is with women. And if you can peel off 1 or 2 or 3% of women, and JD Vance going out with like a softer, like calmer daddy's home, right? Daddy's pink tie, daddy's home, right? When dad comes home, everything's like more peaceful. Everything's more solid. And we can like relax a bit, right? Like he took that Midwestern dad thing to, I think, to the full end, extreme end result. And the result has been that he won like big time because that's the deficit they needed to make up. I wanted him to Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, straight into the heart, straight into the rib cage, pull the heart out. I wanted it. Hold it up. It's beating, right? I wanted him to do it, and I know he can do it, right? We know JD Vance, but I think that what they did was strategically genius.
Well, what people also need to know about that too, it's not even necessarily about winning women. If we look at like the Latino numbers, Trump's not winning them, but he's losing them by an astronomical improvement over the last 4 candidates. The same thing with women. That's all Trump has to do is not get blown out. Like he has to lose 70-30 instead of 80-20, and that's the whole election. That's what people like. You move that needle 2-3 points in some of these groups that historically you've underperformed in. I think that that's all you need to win the election, and you need turnout. But yeah, I'm seeing memes of gay guys saying that their ovaries were humming while watching JD Vance. So I'm pretty sure he did pretty good. He looked presidential, if I dare I say. He looked there were times when he was very sympathetic. His whole, I'm so sorry to hear that your son witnessed that, Tim, even though that was probably a lie. There was a lot of conciliatory, yeah, there were a lot of conciliatory moments between JD Vance where he appeared human, where Trump just doesn't. Trump's always bigger than life. He's a superstar. He's an entertainer, where JD Vance appeared to be really presidential and really calming. I think that will give women a little bit more confidence in voting for the ticket, because they're like, I like that JD Vance guy, and that's my hope anyway. I'm sure that was their hope.
Nobody likes a liar, right? Like, especially nobody likes a liar where it's like, it's not like you're, I don't know. I can't think of a situation where it's
look,
lying would be permissible, but like
here's where it is.
Where they caught Tim Walz was in lies that made no sense.
Yeah.
And his excuse is always, me no speak English good. Me caveman. Ooga booga booga. He did the same thing. He's done it on CNN. He's done it on the trail. And now he did it during the debate. Like, me dumb. Well, if that's the response, why the F are you running for vice president if you're so stupid?
A permissible lie in the Midwest is it was this big, and then it was, or like it was a monster buck, and I just got really unlucky, or my sights were broken. These are things that you're like, okay, like you'll allow that. A non-permissible lie is like telling somebody, oh, I just bought a brand new Polaris snowmobile, and then your buddy's at your house, and then like you're like, oh, where's that snowmobile? And they're like, and you're like, oh, well, it's in the you're like, it's like making up a totally unrequired lie that you then get caught out in a very public fashion. You will never escape that. I mean, most people probably in their life have somebody like that. You're like, oh, that's just, Tim. He's just, and maybe you like they're lovable and you allow it, but you just know they're full of BS. You wouldn't vote for that guy. Like the guy that says his fish was 1.5 feet long, that was really 8 or 9. You're like, whatever, but this is very different.
It is very different because it's seemingly it's lying out of insecurity, which is the worst way to lie. Like you're lying in order to tell people you were in communist China when you weren't. Why? Yeah. What's wrong about being in Nebraska teaching? There's nothing wrong with that. And we've covered this before, but like, dude, there's nothing wrong with your military service. Okay, you did some. There's some arguable things about the way that the people who served with you talk about you, but like, why not just say what you did? Like you could just say the exact facts that nobody could argue, that you were in for like 20 years, that you left with this rank and you ran for Congress. Okay, many such cases actually. But like you had to lie hundreds of times about your military service. It's an insecurity issue, and insecurity in men is a really unattractive trait. Like crippling insecurity, the inability to be comfortable in your own skin and own who you are as a man, to own like the mistakes you've made and the faults that you have, and to just own it and like do some mean shit talk with your friends, like breaking each other's balls. Like that's how men communicate. Yeah. Men don't like cower in the corner, like hiding their nuts, saying like, "Oh, please don't make fun of me. I'm actually really cool." Yeah. Like nobody respects that guy, right?
That's a great way. I've never heard it put that way before, so I don't know if that's a Benny TM way to put it, but like you're 100% right about the insecurity lies. It's a great way to put it, because it is extraordinarily, it is perfectly that. It's that he believes that what he's done in life or the things that he's done is not enough, when you know, he's totally fine. Like you said, I never served, so I'm not going to nitpick the guy whether or not he was on the front lines. Right? He still signed up. He still did his time. Nobody would have had a problem with that. And I think that when you look back, there will probably there'll be dozens. I bet you this whole thing shooting that his son witnessed is probably BS too. But like there's nothing wrong with the service that he did. And the fact that he went up, testified in front of Congress, I believe, or is that some sort of congressional meeting, that like, he specifically said, I was there in May during this event. And then when he's like, I think I said I was there in the summer. No, you said you were there in May. That is the exact quote. You said you were there. Like, it's such a weird, unrealistic, it's an unforced error. He doesn't have to do that.
No, but it says something worse. It says something worse about you when you can't just be comfortable in your own skin. It's the same problem Kamala has. And it's amazing how they both have the same issue where they are insecure and cripplingly so, where they feel like they have to lie. They need to use fake accents with people. They need to tell fake stories about everything from McDonald's to where they served instead of just like manning up and like being the man who you are, like just living with your decisions. Like,
there's nothing wrong with it. Like, there's nothing wrong with Kamala growing up not mid. Like, you can see with Kamala, every sentence starts with, I grew up middle class. Who cares? Nobody cares about how you grew up. We care about who you are as an adult. And like, Tim Walz is very not Midwest for being that. Like, in the Midwest, like you said, we break balls. We don't hold stuff. Like, there's no malice there. If he had even look at the difference with how JD Vance handled their gotcha question about him changing his mind on Trump. He's like, yeah, I got it wrong. So what? Like, people get stuff wrong. People change their minds. Tim Walz is like, well, I grew up in a small town. Like, I mean, these are just two different people. Like, it's okay to be wrong. I feel like politicians need to embrace that more on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, be a man, like a man, like no wonder they're losing men by like 70-30.
Yeah.
Like, because men don't respect that. Like, just accept it. And also, what does it say about small towns? Like, everyone's from a small town. Virtually all Americans are not like born inside of Manhattan General, okay? With Batman and Bruce Wayne. Like, most Americans are from very small, literally middle of nowhere, just like me and just like you. So what does it say when you're like, hey, the reporter's like, hey, you're a lying scumbag. We caught you in this like obvious, egregious lie. And he goes, I'm from a small town.
Naturally, I lied.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, what is that saying about small towns, jackass? Like, that we're all liars, that we don't tell the truth, that we're so stupid. Like, we could caveman. Like, none of us can like remember where we were or what we were doing.
It will go down.
Big insult.
If this election is not fortified, choosing Tim Walz as a VP, and I've been very open about this, and I'll say it like with my whole chest. Kamala Harris did not take Shapiro, who was the better candidate for her presidency, in my opinion, because he's Jewish. And there is an element of a radical left that is fiercely anti-Semitic. And it was because she wanted to appease them, who probably won't vote anyway, because Palestine, Israel stuff, she picked a goofball, like an absolute idiot. And people thought, oh, it's because she was behind. No, she didn't take Shapiro because he was Jewish. That is I'm not Jewish. But I believe that, and it cost her the election because now she has Tim Walz.
It's just like base anti-Semitism. And now it's amazing. Speak about authenticity. Now Arabs, new polling shows that Arab Americans are going Trump. In Michigan, in a town called Hamtramck, which is the most Muslim majority city in America, with a Muslim city council and a Muslim mayor. They all just endorse Trump.
I bet you their neighboring school rivals call him ham sandwich.
I bet that's exactly what John Fetterman calls him. How bad is it when John Fetterman looks at you like this? When John Fetterman is looking at you like this, you've effed up. You've messed up, right? Well,
it also looks like caveman assemble. Like, you have that hulking guy.
John Fetterman's upset because he's like, that's racist against cavemen like me. It's like a guy code.
Yeah, he's getting it on his grift. It's like there's that old I feel like there's one of those cartoon shows like Family Guy or something like that, where like, or maybe one of the old movies. I think it was one of the scary movies where there's like a black guy at the party and then another black guy shows up and he's like, hey man, I'm supposed to be the one black guy at this party. And then they're like, oh, shoot, man. Sorry, I'm a little early. Like, Fetterman's like, hey, man, you're getting in on my caveman grift. Like, he's actually pissed about it.
Yeah, I'm no Fetterman.
Put on all that weight back. He put all that weight back on too. That sucks.
Oh, I mean, he can't be out caveman, right? Like Tim Walz is clearly like on Ozempic. So he's like, this is part of the caveman look, right?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like Fetterman, he was coming back to the reality world a little bit. But like, come on, player, like you're an elected official. We get it. You're trying to be an everyman, but everyman, look, I'm wearing a hoodie too, just like he wears, and it fits me right. And it's not hanging off my body. And it's not like, just like, come on, have some self-respect. Like dress, I get the caveman thing, but I don't know.
So this is we should do like the caveman segment and like who in politics is doing the caveman grant.
Yeah, this
has been good, Jeremy.
Yeah, I like that. I like the grift. I'm as a guy, like I support the grift, but I think like you said, Fetterman's like, no, it's like when Kamala uses her black scent. Black folks are like, nah, player, you're not black. You were Indian last week. Now Fetterman's like, hey, that's caveman cultural appropriation.
a new victim class.
Yeah. Caveman lives matter.
Jeremy from the Quartering. Everybody obviously go follow the Quartering. What are you covering today, man? What's your headlines today?
Well, I'm talking about the downfall of, I'll be live at 1 Eastern on Rumble. Hope you're looking for a place. We're talking about the downfall of the illegal meme law. We're talking about the whopping $700, just like Hawaii got while we sent billions to Israel and Ukraine. Kamala Harris is, you were talking about before I went live with your previous guest. Shout out to German Shepherds. I saw she had some German Shepherds, but I'm going to talk about the Jack Smith death throws. I think you guys were totally right. If Kamala Harris was, doubling up on Trump, they wouldn't be trying this last Hail Mary pass. So yeah, all that. And obviously panic buying has begun at Costco's, and the toilet paper meme is back. It's now butt gold. So we'll be talking about that. So yeah, lots to talk about today, Benny. I always appreciate you having me on and giving me a spot on your show. And I'm glad that you're safe from the weather. We haven't had a chance to connect since then, but I knew that maybe you had resurrected the Benny bunker and had to go into it during the hurricane.
We did have the Benny bunker. We're eternally sad that you couldn't join us in Chicago at the Benny bunker.
That's too many men in too small a space, I think. Like, I just thought, I also didn't want to die. Chicago's dangerous enough. Then you wanted to be down there at night. Then you wanted me looking like this to be down there during the DNC. I thought that somebody had given you money to put my life at risk. I started to be very suspicious of you that you wanted me to be there.
All right. Jeremy, we have a meme from our meme team that they wanted to get your review on. It's very short. It's like 30-second meme. Do you have 30 seconds?
I do. Yeah. How hard do you want me to be on it? You want me to be real? They
appreciate your work, and they appreciate your work, and they just want, I guess, either your boom or doom.
Okay, boomer. Oh god,
on this meme. Okay,
the boom, the caveman culture. Yeah.
Here we go.
Damn, this burger's good. Yo, Chinaman, taste some of that American democracy. You, me, rap battle now.
America, the most powerful force. We're shooting down while we're winning your boss. Come on, man, you think you can rap? You probably work in a sweatshop and eat cat.
Hey, you f***ing fat. Your mama told me you need a smack. A Chinatown here, a Chinatown there. Before you even know a Chinatown everywhere.
What? Huh? Could you say that again? Cause I barely understood a word that you said.
But we're the best fighter. Nothing will be finer. Soon the whole world will be made in China.
Yeah.
All right, Jerry.
Yeah. Shout out to the OG epic rap battles in history. Excellent work on the meme. Excellent work on the tracking and keeping the face modeling set. Very, very good, high quality stuff. If you guys, I give it a. I'm not doing it. I'll give it a. Boom. I'll give it a. I was gonna do it, but I will give it a boom as opposed to a doom. I'm not doing. That's another caveman culture thing that I don't. We're a Kafka family. Something's going to come. And I'll leave you with this. Mark my word, Benny. Something's going to come out about that dad. Something is going to come out. I promise you this, America. There is a deep, dark secret in that man's closet that will come out. I promise you this.
Ooh, okay. So always in the eyes. Yes, always in the eyes. They're compensating for something.
Yeah. Hey, come see my show. I'm live at 1 today. Benny, thanks for having me on. I know I probably ran over, bud. So
all right. Well, can't go to. Hopefully, we share the same prison cell in California when they arrest us for our memes. Thank you. See you, Jeremy. Later, homie.